And for more analysis on this, we are joined by Ronald Sun. He's a professor of history and political science at the University of Michigan. Professor Sun, thank you for your time here on the News Hour on TRT World. Russia's former president, as we've just been discussing with our colleague Dasha, says sanctions will do little to influence the Kremlin. Do you think that the EU energy deal that we've just heard being struck in Brussels is going to have any impact on the Kremlin's decision-making process going forward?
Sanctions always play a secondary role to what a country thinks is its major security interests. And the Russian elite right now, Putin in particular, Medvedev, etc., believes that their war in Ukraine, which is a disaster actually for Russia, is in fact something that is so important to their well-being and future security that the sanctions be damned. They're not going to be concerned by that. But as you heard from your reporter, sanctions are going to hurt Russians a lot. Oligarchs are not too happy to have their $700 million yachts sequestered. And the country is being driven out of the international capitalist system back into some kind of, I don't know, primitive bartering stage. So this is not good. In general, you could say Putin is getting everything he didn't want in this war. He's unifying the West under the leadership of the United States. NATO is stronger. There's more troops closer to Russia. Germany is rearming as if the 20th century has now been completely forgotten. Japan talks about nuclear weapons again. So I don't see any advantage for Russia here. They've obviously reduced their interests, their goals. They're now just talking about the defense of the Donbass. But this is not only a disaster for Ukraine, it is a serious disaster for Putin personally and for Russia.
Interesting you say that, because we've heard the Russian Defense Ministry today saying that Russia's primary goals for the first phase of this operation have been achieved. I mean, they haven't even taken the capital, Kiev, yet. Surely that's a propaganda line.
Almost everything you hear from Russia is a propaganda line. It's so extraordinary. They have created an alternative reality. This talk about Nazi governments in Ukraine, this fiction about the Ukrainians and Russians being a single people. They know perfectly well that Ukraine is an independent state, and Ukrainians make up a cultural and linguistic and historic unity, a nation. All of these things are basically for domestic propaganda purposes and not for general consumption throughout the globe. It doesn't work. And Russians even don't believe it, really.
Professor Sun, I would like to discuss this with you all evening, but unfortunately we've run out of time. Thank you so much for your analysis live here on the News Hour. Thank you.
Right.